This Birmingham versus Hull preview is brought to you by FanHub, which is the new channel sponsor, which looks at starting 11s for the games as well as mileage as well covered by fans on away days. So I'm sure for fans like Tommy, this would be useful where they get around the grounds. And feel free to use the code, which is in the description as well, which enables you to skip the queue. So make sure to click on that code. But in terms of the starting 11 that I'm looking at predicting for this game, I've gone with two changes from the loss against Middlesbrough, and the two changes come in midfield, with Jordan James and Juninho Bacuna coming into the starting 11, replacing Ivan Sunjic on one side and Gary Gardner on the other side as well. So I'm thinking a bit of change in the midfield. Rooney still looking for this formula that's going to work in the midfield, because that's the area where I feel that from Eustace to Rooney has changed the most, with this three in midfield as opposed to two holding midfielders and then three playing further up. So I'm thinking in the 4-3-3 formation, there will be some changes in personnel. And if it won't be James coming in the squad, then I feel like it will be Bacuna. I think there'll be changes, and I think they'll come in the midfield. But in terms of FanHub, download it, and here's the video. Got a really big clash happening with Wayne Rooney's first game in charge of Birmingham at St Andrews in the EFL Championship. And it's a tantalising one because you've got Liam Rosenior coming to town, former Derby assistant manager when Wayne Rooney was there. There's plenty of history between the two people, a lot of mutual respect between each other, with Rooney saying in his press conference about how much he admires Rosenior and the work that he's done at Hull, speaking very highly of him. It was actually Rooney's choice to get Rosenior in at Derby because he was in a sort of first team analysis department when Philippe Cocu was there as Derby manager. So Rooney did actually promote Rosenior to assistant manager during his time there because of, I guess, the fact that he thought a lot of him at his playing days there, because Wayne Rooney did end his career sort of playing at Derby County and as well as DC United. So towards the end of his career, he was looking at people like Rosenior, eyeing him up for managerial roles in the future. Hence why he got him on board at Derby, and why Rosenior is doing pretty well at Hull so far. At the time of this recording, they are 12th place in the Championship, steady so far in the Championship. They did start off pretty well, but have kind of petered out in the last few games, having won one of their last 5 games and without a win in 4 as well. So there are things to be looked at in Hull's form to look to capitalise on. I mean, the big talking point in terms of Birmingham, besides the Rooney first game scenario, is the fact that we've got the lower Tilton open and more parts of it open compared to the West Brom game, with the news actually hitting this morning that there was going to be more seats available, and also the sort of safe standing trial, which is in the works as well. And this is all positive news that's coming out of Birmingham, because we've been waiting for this news for so long, wanting to get a full St Andrews again. Gary Cook spoke about it in his Rooney statement, saying about the fact that he wants 30,000 in St Andrews. And this is all building up to the time where we can get all the fans in, and it really does feel like home again. So it's a step in the right direction, regardless of what happens with the game tomorrow night. And that's something to be optimistic about. In terms of our game against Middlesbrough, there was a lot of worried people after the game because of the fact that we were so open. We're used to Birmingham being a bit more solid at the back this year because of the fact that we've conceded, not many goals in the Championship. It's only Leicester that have conceded less goals than us. So we have got a pretty tight-knit defence, and it took until the 89th minute to break us down with that Morgan Rogers goal, which was a late heartbreaker. But John Ruddy did make a lot of saves in the game. He was called upon a lot to produce the goods, because he saved 10 chances in the game, with Middlesbrough having an XG of 2.83, which is staggering considering the fact they only scored 1 goal. So they were kind of all over us in the game. Michael Carrick's got a good outfit there at Middlesbrough, hasn't he? You knew they were going to be competing around that top 6 area. So it's one of them games where a lot of Birmingham fans are thinking, if Eustace was to go there, would he have picked up 3 points? Would he have even picked up a point? I'm not sure. But with this whole game at home, this is when the sort of comparisons are really going to start, I guess, because there is already some sort of expectation and a little bit of pressure on Rooney to deliver results, because of the fact that we are in a position at the moment where we're in 7th place at the time of this recording. We are in the top half of the Championship, and we do want to maintain this. We don't want to let standards slip. And I'm sure that Rooney won't want to, because of the fact that his coaching staff, Ashley Cole, John O'Shea, they demand a lot of the players, and they want the players to be expansive. They want more of the ball, that's for sure, more possession in the game. But whether this is going to pan out or not, I'm not sure, because Rosenior will know Rooney well. As before said about the time together at Derby County, they will know a bit about each other in terms of what tactics they'll like to deploy. And in terms of fixtures between the two teams, last season, there was a bit of a contrast, because the away game against Hull, we did win 2-0. Deeney penalty and Juninho Bacuna getting us the 2-0 win. And that's when the fans were really starting to take to John Eustace, because he was still relatively new in the job then. The game was played in October, and we were doing pretty well before the World Cup break, and then we kind of fell off a little bit. but the away game, the home game, sorry, at St Andrews later that season really did define where we were at that point in time because we lost 1-0 to Hull. It was such a lackluster performance. Estupiñán scoring 15 minutes from the end. And it was a performance where we thought, oh God, here we go again. We're sort of going down towards the bottom end of the league. But I really hope this game isn't that kind of one where you think standards are going to drop. Let's sort of get the fans up. Let's get us bouncing. Let's get a good atmosphere going, which I'm sure there will be with the lower Tilton Open. Rooney did speak in his press conference today about the fact that he does want to see the Birmingham fans making a sound, and I'm pretty sure they will create a good atmosphere to back Rooney and to back the players as well. St Andrews is one of the places that once it gets rocking, any team could find it hard to sort of come to St Andrews. So I'm really hoping a good atmosphere is built. In terms of danger men for Hull to look out for, Scott Twine is one of them, got promoted with Burnley last season, and Liam Delap as well. He's a sort of direct striker, looks to play off sort of defenders, target man. So he's one to look out for as well. But in terms of score predictions for the game, I'd love to see us win it. And I do actually think we'll win it as well. I think it'll be one of them games where if we do get the first goal, we could get a couple, I think. And I'm really hoping for an emphatic result. I mean, I'm going 3-0 actually. I'm going for a 3-0 win because I'm thinking that there is going to be this sort of feel-good factor around the place now that the Lower Tilton area, more of it is open than it was, 3.5 years ago when this whole circus started. So I'm hoping that that energy from the crowd can translate to the players and we can get a couple goals in the game, which I'm really hoping is the case. And in terms of Rosenior's history at Hull, he's got plenty there, as well as at Derby County with Rooney, having featured for FA Cup final for Hull at Wembley Stadium, where they lost to Arsenal in 2014. There's a lot of history to be had with Hull City and Liam Rosenior, but I'm hoping that this result isn't a landmark result for them because at the moment they're kind of in limbo. Are they going to be top half? Are they going to be bottom half? We don't really know, but I'm thinking that Rooney's going to persist with Hogan up front, Stansfield and Dembele on the wings, unchanged back four, Ruddy's still in net. So I'm hoping the players do have the know-how to get the better of this whole team and to deliver us 3 points tomorrow night. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave your score predictions in the comments below, and keep right on.